Halo Campaign Evolved added something the Halo series never needed, and that Combat Evolved has never seen before. Something I can't stand, but it seems to be in every single shooter these days. They put Sprint in the game for the first time. And keep in mind, counting the original Xbox, Master Chief Collection for Xbox, Master Chief Collection for PC, and the Anniversary Edition, this is the 5th time I'm buying Halo 1. A sprinting mechanic doesn't just make Halo worse. It alters the gameplay in a way that removes the essence of what Halo has always been, what made fans fall in love with it in the first place. And I know what you're thinking. But I wanna go fast! Well, guess what? You still can with this one secret game devs seem to have forgotten about. Just make the player move faster. The Halo franchise was built on the backs of devs who loved games that came before it, like Doom and Quake. And what happens in those games? You just move fast, without ever needing to press a sprint button or experience a sprinting animation. Why is this so important? It's just a sprinting button, right?
Wrong!
Every time you're sprinting, you know what you're not doing? Aiming and shooting. Games like Halo have always been about a constant crosshair on the screen, always ready to shoot, throw grenades, or melee the next opponent in your sight. Now, every time you sprint, you're incapable of doing that for at least an extra second. We never needed it before, and we don't need it now. But why has sprinting been in Halo games for so long at this point? And why was it added to the first game retroactively? Truthfully, we can't be certain why these decisions were made, but we can trace it back to the source. The Call of Duty-fication of shooters came long ago, when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was so successful that every other game tried to copy it. As a result, games like Halo Reach added a sprinting function. However, Bungie was still working on Halo at the time, and those guys knew what they were doing. That's why we saw the introduction of armor abilities. Although players had the ability to sprint and move faster than other players, it was their armor ability. Therefore, by choosing to sprint around the map more quickly, you were also agreeing to have your gun up and unavailable for a few seconds at a time, something other players, who chose a jetpack or hologram, would not have to worry about. It turned out to be a great way to balance multiplayer, and you'd only get certain armor abilities at certain times throughout the campaign for, again, balance. Then, starting with Halo 4, sprinting became a permanent built-in function that everyone had all the time. Now, if you wanted to keep up with anyone, you had to sprint, put your gun away temporarily, and you're always in danger of turning a corner and having a player or enemy AI ready to fire at your face. But you can't return fire until you finish sprinting. Since then, all following Halo entries use the same idea, which, though I'm still not happy about it and I complain like an old man to get off my lawn, I'm willing to accept, as all shooters have basically added sprinting in this day and age. But adding it retroactively to Halo Combat Evolved is where I draw the line. We don't need sprinting in Halo 1, we don't even need it in every FPS game that comes out. We can just make the base player speed faster if we want the game to move faster. Let's keep Halo the way it was meant to be, with my crosshair always at the ready to drop someone at a moment's notice. Master Chief is a super soldier built to perform on the battlefield. He shouldn't have to put in such high effort to move quickly. It should be seamless and without an intrusive animation that takes me out of my game. And why is he always out of breath while sprinting? He's basically a superhero built to do this, but he sounds like me going up the stairs every time he runs a few feet. At the end of the day, FPS games all have a sprint function now. Although I'm not happy about it, I can accept it, even though all I want to do is shoot and not sprint. However, Halo 1 did not need this change, and I will argue about this until my final breath.